I got it finally through the wall. Needs a little bit of cleaning.
You told me once to kill for life, so would you also kill for mine?
Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. Today is another full construction day. Today building the vocal booth that is right here behind the window. If you're interested how we installed that, just check out the video up here. Actually pretty straightforward. You just cut out the piece of the wall. You then put in the window in place, screws in there, the foam to seal it. And on the other side, we got the vocal booth. Really nice sized room. And already in here, when you clap, the reverb is clean, it's nice. So we won't have to do a whole lot of treatment, but I still want to make sure that it's sealed to the control room. There will be another window in place, another wall in between. Same here on this side, because that's extremely thin. And you can then hear the music in the hallway and then back again through the door in the control room. So I want to make sure this is tight, the back wall as well as the wall to the outside, to keep the outside noise out of the recording. Before getting to the practical part and building all of that, let's really quick address the theory. Usually in a studio you have three types of rooms. The live recording room that should have a reverb like 1.2 seconds or even longer depending on what type of music you want to record. The reverb, the room, is part of the recording. Here in a vocal booth, you want actually a dry sound, so way less reverb. Not making it entirely no reverb and depth, because then it sounds awkward. I'd say here for this room, maybe 50% or 75% of absorbing coverage. And if it's then still too much reverb or too little reverb, you can help with reflectors and diffusers. And then the control room, usually you try also to keep it really dry, at least like the front end where the sweet spot is, and then the back a little of diffusion to make the room sound bigger than it actually is. And one more thing here for the vocal booth, never ever use the black acoustic foam stuff. It's really thin and it can only cover like the very top frequencies to maybe 500 Hertz. And with that you will end up with a room where you have no high top frequencies, and then the bottom end will be extremely boomy. This will make the recording of vocals very boxy, because the human voice can go down up to around 200 Hertz. So 200 to 500 will sound terrible. You want to make sure that you absorb all frequencies equally, which is hard, because the lower the frequency, the thicker the material has to be. So for the second wall that will go in here, I'm really counting like at least this much of absorption. This will help me to isolate to the other room, as well as absorb the recording or the possible vocal recordings in here. But enough with the theory, let's just go to the DIY store and buy a bunch of stuff. I got everything, and my biggest question was if it fits in this tiny car, and yes, it does. All in all, I spent 106 euros, but I still have to get more stuff in the next couple of days to actually finish that wall. Now, everything in here, back to the studio.
Don't tell me it's over, it has been so long. Don't tell me it moves you, you wouldn't.
Very slight change of plans. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to look behind this wall. Someone built it in here. It looks really bad, no effort, no clue. So I wanted to know what's behind it. This is like the wall between here and the hallway that then connects to the control room. I actually just intended building a wall in front of it and just be safe, but looking in here, whoever built that, fuck you. There's nothing in it. Like usually you would cover it with the absorbing material just for the heat and the acoustic properties. But on the other hand, it saves me a little bit of time. I will remove the plates, the drywall plates, fill it, put new ones on top, and maybe even make it thicker. So this way I lose a little bit less of the room and do then the same here. But yeah, it's one extra step.
Don't talk about friendship that we never had. Don't waste you, keep distance. Close in my head.
Next up, the fun part. I got here the multi-core, the stage box with all of the exit air in and outputs. I have to fiddle all of the parts on the other side through this little tiny hole in the wall, 16 of those, and it's a quite tight fit. I might have to open it up a little, but this needs to go through. This will stay in here, so you connect your microphone or the headphones in here, and you're connected to the other room. And it's a quite long cable. 30 meters, totally unnecessary, but that's the smallest one they got. I got it finally through the wall. Needs a little bit of cleaning. And I have here like 3 meters of cable. That's enough to plug it in. I will probably put it behind the corner absorbers, then through my desk, and then into hopefully a new sound card, maybe a desk. I still don't really know, but I think 16 connections will be enough for this little studio here. sineUP. Still don't know. By the way, speaking of it, let's check again the progress up there. Absolutely no progress. The guy that came yesterday removed this one little piece and took a picture and left. He called me this morning and told me he needs another week. I don't know what for, because actually just the floor needs to be removed. I really don't get it. I can't even come up with excuses for him. By the way, down here in the vocal booth, I also had to remove this part. I checked the electric wiring. It's really bad, so this also needs to be replaced. But now let's actually get to the main part and building, like the construction for the wall. That will probably go here. I got the really thick wood. This one right here, quite expensive actually. If you buy them in the store, check, because some of them are bent, some of them are broken. Just take the good ones. You will need this isolating band that goes between the wood, the floor, the ceiling and the walls, just to decouple it from the wall, and then just building this entire construction. I got as far as I can go alone for the ceiling, and this side wall I need help and different tools. That wall is extremely tough because the chimney goes through it and they put metal in between. So I need a bigger, better, more powerful drill. But what I can is show you the material that goes in there. A lot of people always ask, because there are different kinds. I have like this ham kind of stuff. It's not smokable, don't worry. It also doesn't make you chilled or your music more chilled. Doesn't even smell at all. It's a good absorbing material, but extremely expensive. But this is not toxic at all. You could even eat it if you wanted to. And then there's this stuff. It's a little toxic. It's itching when you touch it. You should wear a mask if you install it. This right here is Rockwall. But the most important information, I don't know why, but I removed it. Probably to buy more of it. But here was the information on the, in German it's called Strömungswiderstand, like the density, the airflow it lets through. And it's not good to have a material that is too thick and doesn't let any air through, because then the sound bounces off of it, like off a wall. And if it's not dense enough, the lower frequencies just go through it with it. And I think here it was like a value F7 or 6 point something. That's the stuff you should get. That's also, by the way, the cheapest you can buy and the most used. So don't go for the more expensive, thicker and heavier stuff. This will just go in here, of course, without the packaging. 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 layers of it. The entire wall. Second window in here. For the window I need to build a construction that holds the window. So a lot of challenges, nothing I can solve alone and today. So I think I will just do all of the business stuff, get rid of it, take care of the label stuff, and also of all of the upcoming releases, my own upcoming release, and then time for the weekend.
Don't tell me it's over, it has been so long. Don't tell me it moves you, you wouldn't be gone.
This feels again like an entire studio construction fail day, but I advanced a little and I now know what I exactly want to do. I laid out like the plan. Let me show you really quick. I decided to have the side walls at an angle, wider at the front so that I have no parallel walls. Same on the other side. Not sure how to cover the window and still being able to get daylight in here and still being able to open and close it. So if you have any idea, let me know. And then here a construction for the second window. I don't know if I will go again for like a triple isolating window or just like one piece of glass. Not sure. I will have to test it as always. That's really it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, although it was again a construction epic fail thing. Hope you still learned something or got some entertainment. Speaking of entertainment, wow, son. Speaking of entertainment, definitely tune in tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm heading to a private birthday crazy party in Hamburg. This will be fun, 100%.
Don't talk about friendship that